Well, this will open your eyes like nothing else. Someone I'm a huge fan of, Charlie Kirk, right now is receiving a lot of praise for the incredible on-ground mobilization done by Turning Point USA to help Donald Trump's re-election. But I need to show them many times that Charlie's battled physical assault and verbal abuse on these tours in the last few years, and it starts with the tired accusations of racism in this particular case, ballooned into much bigger legal trouble for the assailant.
I will say this, there are real racists in the world. And when you call people like me a racist, it cheapens real racism. Because everybody then becomes a racist. There's zero evidence that I'm a racist.
You've enabled racists. That
like,
makes you racist.
Like Candace Owens.
You've enabled racists.
Like Larry Elder.
The only name
like
you know.
Dr. Ben Carson. Like Stacey Dash.
Dr. Ben Carson.
Yeah, Dr. Ben Carson.
Oh,
The bitter racist who's a black head of housing and urban development.
Yeah, because being black really makes you really anti-racist.
What helps?
Okay, Mr. I hate identity politics.
Would a racist host the nation's largest young black leadership summit?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So at what point would I not be a racist then?
When you stop enabling racists.
Name one.
All of your supporters. All of these mother
people are racist? That's an unbelievably racist thing to say. Whoa, that's assault. Are you serious?
I do want to press charges, by the way.
We're gonna press charges against him?
Only a weak man would ever resort to this, and it's interesting that the behavior of a lot of these far leftist on college campuses is really reminiscent of the school bully that gets a kick out of shoving you to the ground and laughing. And with a person like that, well, there's really no other way than what Charlie Kirk did here by threatening legal action for battery. By the way, this is a great time to subscribe and hit the notification bell because I'd love you to be a part of these important conversations we have here every day. And not just that, what kind of a new goalpost is this to say you're enabling racism as a way to accuse someone of being racist? Truth is, like many other terms, it's deliberately a hazy and subjective term that gives someone like this college student the moral license to even resort to heckling and violence. And that's kind of what we saw next with so-called Antifa protesters using the text fascist tactics to shut down a Charlie Kirk event. I am always surprised and very impressed with how composed he is. When most other people would lose their temper and hit back in a physical altercation like this, I probably might. But perhaps when Charlie was starting off Turning Point USA at the age of 18, he knew exactly the kind of political swamp that he was jumping into. And what's really interesting is that Charlie Kirk channels that energy somewhere more productive, clearly, which is molding an organization like Turning Point USA into perhaps the most formidable on-ground campaign that helped elect Donald Trump to office this time, but it's done so much more. And that's not me saying that. The statistics speak for themselves. Charlie's organization in the few months before the election went to more than 55 of the most important college campuses in the country under the banner of the Brainwash Tour and raked up a staggering 2 billion views in total online, which undoubtedly has an outsized influence in changing minds and mobilizing potential young voters. And not just that, it's multiple organizations like Turning Point USA that have arguably removed the Republican Party's reliance on mainstream media to campaign and get their message out, which is a shift that toward online and alternative media we saw play out in the election. But that's a job made harder when the leftist indoctrination on college campuses has left students almost incapable of even arguing their case without resorting to a physical scuffle like this.
Jesus Christ has 0 documented sins, died a passive death.
He was from the line of David. You know what David did?
Well, David was a Jew.
He sent a dude out on the line to get killed so he could have his wife.
Yeah, and David was not.
That's his grandfather,
David was
right?
not divine. Jesus was. There's a difference.
It was part of the divine line, right?
No doubt, but no one was perfect until Jesus came down to earth. That's what we Christians believe. You see that? You see the difference? You ask what makes Christianity different. Theologically, Christianity has a completely different doctrine than any other world religion that's ever existed. And now I'm not.
What does your hat say?
ICE.
What does that stand for?
Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement. Hey, don't touch it.
What are you doing?
Gotta let her have her emotions, man. Just listen.
Have a nice day.
Listen, I'm not saying that she was right.
Let's have a conversation.
She was wrong for that. But you gotta show yourself.
Sorry,
that.
Charlie.
If you really love her, you let her go.
No, 100%, guys. I'm not gonna press.
You did good.
Thank you. See, I'm not gonna.
Because I would have been pissed. I might have wanted to elbow her.
No, that's not.
Get women back.
Hey, put it on mine. That's not what it's about, guys. We have to have respect for each other and love.
And keep in mind, this is only the stuff we see on camera. Charlie Kirk has even spoken about the personal threats he's received, putting him on a constant edge even during public events and incidents just like this. Most recently, in fact, the police in Arizona announced the arrest of a high school teacher in connection with making threats against Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump Jr. via text messages. Even though they may face it more often than the average person, threats of violence against you and your family are bound to take a mental toll on you wherever you go, but of course, that can happen way before threats of violence because being accused of being a white supremacist and racist is already enough to ruin your name and career, even though these accusations may be as hollow as this next example demonstrates perfectly.
I hate you.
Yeah. Would you like to have a substantive conversation or?
A substitute?
Yeah.
A substitute? No, man.
Would you like to have a conversation?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like you. I think you spread hate. I think you spread bigotry. I think you piss a lot of people off because you're just an awful person. I don't think you really want to debate because you're just here to piss people off and energize your crowd of racists.
What have I ever said that's racist?
Oh, what?
Can you name one thing?
I'm Hispanic, and I support Charlie.
Can you name
Does that mean anything?
Can you name a second thing I've ever said that's racist?
I think you're just trying to play a game, and I think this is obviously going to be used.
What have I ever said
that's
that's
I just want to
hateful?
hate you. You're awful. Get off my campus.
When have I ever said anything that's hateful? Have a nice day. He can't say anything I've ever said that's racist because I've never said anything that's racist. That is the American left in one picture, everybody. Lots of rage and no wisdom.
Wow, it is almost like that's the new normal on college campuses these days, which is a very scary reminder of the kind of mindset that our educational institutes are churning out. But let me know in the comments how you process all of that and share this with the people that you believe lend an important voice to this debate. I've also made a couple other videos about Charlie Kirk, especially a great one about him debating Hassan Piker. Hassan even responded. It was a whole thing. I think as the strength of cancel culture fades, we're going to start seeing these scare and smear tactics intensify by figures on the far left until they hopefully eventually fizzle out of America's political existence. We'll see, and it will certainly be a welcome shift as the result of this election.